Hi, it's Chris Kalenda, and I want to personally invite you to my upcoming masterclass on January 15th called Beyond Servant Leadership. So, when we look at the different kinds of leaders, they're represented by this diagram here, where on the north-south axis, you have number of leaders, and on the east-west axis, you have impact. So, impact on the organization, impact on the people that you're working with. And on the far left, low numbers of leaders, low impact on people are your selfish leaders. They're the people that are self-dealing. It's all about them. Next up, you have your leaders who rely on authority. So they are your taskmasters, where they really don't care about you so much. What they care about is getting the job done. So you are an instrument of them in accomplishing various tasks. Now, part of a corrective to these different types of leaders was the servant leader. So, the servant leader is designed to be somebody who serves the organization. It's not about them, the leader, it's about everybody else. And the servant leader often comes across as the hero of the organization, and many servant leaders see themselves either consciously or subconsciously as the heroes. And so they're the ones that will pay any price, bear any burden for the good of the organization. They take the organization on their back, they take everybody on their back. They're the ones that oftentimes can become martyrs to the cause. And then finally, on the far right, and this is why I call it beyond servant leadership, are significant leaders. Leaders of significance are exemplars. They are the kinds of people that are setting the example for what good, sustainable leadership looks like. When you go a level down and you look at the impact of the various kinds of leaders, then the self-dealer, of course, you're going to have a lot of turnover because people are just not going to want to be in that kind of environment, which oftentimes becomes very toxic. For the authority-based leaders, you oftentimes get low engagement, low levels of innovation. People are just trying to do enough to get the carrots and enough to avoid the sticks. Now, on the servant leaders, especially when it's taken to its logical extreme, what you get is burnout. They don't look to servant leaders as the exemplars. They say, well, first of all, I can delegate up to my servant leader because, well, they have no boundaries. They're willing to take on all the hard stuff. They're willing to make my life as easy as possible. So I'm perfectly comfortable delegating up and they just put more on their plate. We also see that these are the people that are often burning the midnight oil. They are fatigued. They are getting exhausted. They're burning out. And people don't look to you with admiration. So it may start out with some degree of appreciation for all that they are taking on for the organization. But as leaders get fatigued and they burn out, then people look on them with pity and say, I don't ever want to be like that. I want to have a life out of work. I don't want to be burned out like that. That's not where I see myself. That's not what I see as healthy. On the far right, you get a few high impact leaders that are significant leaders, and they're the exemplars. They're the ones that are modeling how you can be a leader in the sense that you are setting an example, not only for what the values of the organization are, but also how do you live a good life as a leader? How do you not only keep your priorities at work, but also your priorities outside of work? How do you keep those commitments? And that's what exemplars do. And they leave a lasting impact and legacy. And when people look at them, they look at them with respect and admiration as courageous leaders. So that's what Beyond Servant Leadership is all about. This we're going to talk about in the January 15th Masterclass. And what I'm going to do is give you 7 steps that will help you move from servant leader into a leader of significance. And those 7 steps, we're going to talk about how to apply the oxygen mask principle. So you're taking care of yourself as you're taking care of others, how to win with your strengths, how to delegate like a boss. So you're bringing out the best in people, how to set boundaries so that you can meet your commitments outside of work and not burn out while you're at work, how to schedule your priorities instead of prioritizing what's on your schedule, how to master transitions between events from meeting to meeting or from work to home, and then finally, the importance of your inner five support network. So join me on January 15th for the Beyond Servant Leadership Masterclass, and I guarantee you it will give you action steps that are going to improve the quality of your leadership and the quality of your life and the quality of legacy that you leave within your organization.